All right, so here we are, day 2 of our journey back to the Pacific Northwest, and I did a brief stop in Las Vegas. Um, Sorry to all my friends who I didn't ping that I was going to be here. I just didn't feel like I needed the company because I guess I'm feeling a little down about the fact that I had to leave the kids in Arizona for their school and everything else. I just kind of wanted some time to myself. Not to mention the fact that um, the previous week was just almost entirely, DEF CON, black hat, tens of thousands of people, and it just, I needed some time by myself. So to kind of absorb all of this. So in any case, yeah, on my way, should take about, according to Waze, about 9.5 hours, but the Jeep gets about 300 miles. So I'll probably be gassing up at least twice, maybe 3 times on the way up there, plus some lunch, everything else. We're talking probably maybe 10.5 hours on the road. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get some good shots of some scenery, and we'll be able to show you some more of the beautiful countryside. Again, I'm going up the Great Basin Highway there. So we'll be passing by the Alamo, which is the front gate of Area 51. I've been to the back gate of Area 51, and it's beautiful countryside. And yeah, it should be fun. All right. So I always thought this was pretty cool every time I pass it by. What you are looking at here are acres and acres, probably maybe even several square miles of solar panels. Of course, being Southern Nevada, we have an abundance, or Nevada, I haven't lived here in 30 years, an abundance of solar energy. And so these things rotate with the sun. So if you can imagine all of these things, probably several thousands of them, all rotating at once, tracking the sun, generating electricity, which is kind of cool. So one thing that Nevada has is plenty of space and plenty of sun. Now, back in the day, everybody's worried about some desert tortoise thing, so I'd be curious to find out whatever happened with those, if they had some sort of abatement or mitigation that they had to do. But yeah, these are pretty cool. Seriously, how could you not love the scenery here? I'm now heading up 93, Great Basin Highway. Waze is actually going to take me in a little while, maybe another hour or so. It's going to have me cutting off of 93 up US 6, I think, which I've never been before, so this will be interesting. Usually 93 will take 93 all the way up to, what do you call it, to Ely at least, and then continue up 93 all the way up into Twin Falls, and then over to Boise. But yeah, so 110 miles on a stretch of road that I have never been on, and I've been up and down this road several times, either as a family or with when we went down with the kids in Arizona earlier or last week or a couple weeks ago. So this will be interesting. Hopefully I'll get some more good footage here. So now I am on 318 off of 93, which apparently seems to be running parallel to 93 going north, which is kind of odd. And it looks like it's going to hook back up in Ely. So I'm not really sure why Waze has sent me this way. But this particular stretch is called the Silver State Classic Challenge Highway. I'm not really sure what that means. I'm sure there's maybe a historical significance to it. And I guess it doesn't really look all that different from 93. I'm just kind of curious whether or not this takes me a little bit out of the way, but less traffic somehow, or if this is shorter in some form or fashion. I'd be kind of interested I'm going to have to sit down and figure this out. But there does already seem to be slightly fewer cars anyways than 93, so maybe that's it. Although here comes a guy kind of blasting by me. I'm doing 80, so he's doing a good 90, 85, 90 miles an hour. And yeah, so we got about 106 miles on this thing. Then we get onto US 6, and then somewhere up there up north we run into Ely or Caliente or some other little burg in northern Nevada, or mid Nevada, I guess. Not quite northern Nevada. big state. So, well, your guess is as good as mine. I don't think I've ever been on this little stretch of road. I feel like it's kind of got the sort of hills have eyes sort of a thing here. So, God forbid if I should disappear, somebody finds his phone, it'll be one of those classic found footage things. And yeah, I'll try to videotape as much of my death as possible if it turns out that there's nuclear irradiated mutants out here. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. And so you can see here, very close to the edge. Again, very sort of hills have eyes sort of appeal. Quite get the phone out fast enough, the video going fast enough, but entered into this kind of really nice canyon area as we're continuing on north towards wherever this particular road's going to end at about 86 miles. I hope it's not all canyon, but it's 2 miles of this apparently, and it's kind of nice. And look at that scenery. I mean, ignore the porg in the video. I really should take that guy down. But yeah, this is gorgeous up here. Coming out. Some rolling hills. If you didn't know any better, you wouldn't know that that's just scrub brush and sticker bushes out there. So about 26 miles away from US 6. I guess that's going to hook us down towards Ely, but I just wanted to kind of, again, show just how big this basin is. And this isn't even the whole basin, this is just part of the basin. And it's well over 100 miles of nothing. There was a pretty decent stretch there where there was no signal. Obviously no gas services during that last 100 miles or so. So if you gas up in Alamo, then you can make it all the way to Ely, obviously no problem. One thing I was thinking about as I was making this drive here is that not a lot of electric charging stations. So this is not a road where you can see a lot of Teslas or Bolts or other electric cars, unless it happens to be a hybrid or something like that. So those of you who are making the transit from the Pacific Northwest or anywhere in Idaho heading down towards Las Vegas, this might not be the stretch for you, because even if you make it as far as Alamo, I didn't see any Tesla superchargers there or any other sort of fast charge electric chargers there. You could probably borrow a 110 cord or something from the folks at the gas stations there in Alamo, but obviously then it'll take you the better part of a day to get anywhere near a decent charge to be able to continue your way on to Las Vegas. So you'll probably find yourself going either down through Salt Lake City, which is a little bit out of the way, or down through California, which obviously is another kind of out of the way sort of way to go, especially if you're coming through Idaho or if you're coming from Idaho. Now if you're coming from Seattle or up there, that's fine. You can go straight down I-5 and then cut across I-15, and the same thing goes for I guess you can make it to Boise, Idaho, and then from Boise maybe to Salt Lake City, or to Twin Falls, and then to Salt Lake City. So there's going to be a lot of charging involved there. That's kind of an interesting problem to consider. Again, there was a pretty long stretch there where there was no signal, so essentially there was no ability to make any phone calls. You'd have to wait till somebody went by. Although, traffic is not it's not completely desolate and isolated. People were driving by, and so you could probably get somebody to stop. But then I start thinking about movies like The Hitcher, or where you would were wrong way. I think wrong direction, wrong way. Kurt Russell was in it. Anyways, you end up worrying about whether or not you're ever going to make it back to your car. So, yeah, make sure you've got plenty of gas, plenty of water, drinks, snacks, and stuff, because between Alamo and Ely on this particular stretch of road, there is a lot of nothing. So we made it to Ely, and now I got about 379 miles to go. Headed to Boise, obviously, and I'll probably have to top off in Twin Falls or something, because according to my distance till empty gauge, got 364 miles, 379. Obviously, it's not going to be enough, even if I was to be particularly gas fuel efficient, which this thing is not. Well, I'm getting 26 miles to the gallon, which is a mile per gallon above the rated highway. So I'm actually think I'm doing pretty good, but still a little out of range. So we'll top off in Twin Falls, and we should be able to make it the rest of the way in. Be there by about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and have some dinner. Oh, here's the sign here. 252 miles to Twin Falls. So yeah, that's where I'm going, and we'll get that far and be able to take a night off before we make the final drive into Seattle. Yeah, thanks for joining me on this trip so far. Check out the doink that I got, man. Fucking rock chip. Not just a rock chip, that thing looked like it almost came through. Warning you about gravel. Damn. Should have heard that thing go off the windshield. Well, I guess it was bound to happen. It's been a while since I've had to get my windshield replaced, so first time for everything, I guess. So we're probably about 50-60 miles short of Wells, Nevada right now, and yeah, again, countryside, kind of the northern end of the Great Basin. Climate changing a little bit, I guess. Not quite as hot, only 86 degrees outside versus 109. Good times. So, made it to Idaho. About 50 miles shy of Twin Falls at this point. Got a little over quarter tank gas left, so it looks like we're going to make that okay. Plenty of buffer there. It's getting considerably flatter. Not as many buttes, although there's quite a few in the background. I don't know if you can see them through the glare with the sun shining in. Get to the afternoon. Sometimes I forget that also Idaho's on mountain standard, so I guess it's technically 3-something at this point as opposed to 2-something on the car clock, which doesn't change obviously on an automatic basis. And yeah, it's been a good trip so far. Nobody died. Nobody's gotten killed, knock on wood, other than the fact that windshield took that big knock there, so that's kind of a big pain in the ass I'll have to deal with this next week, and plus all the freaking bugs. Oh my god, you should see the front end of this thing. I'll probably do a quick video when we hit Twin Falls as we're gassing up. I'll do a video there, and you can see how disgusting the front end of the Jeep looks. So yeah, good times. The tour continues, and we're going to just a couple more hours, and we'll be calling it a night. Seriously, got out of Nevada. Look how flat everything got. Just low rolling hills. You can kind of see the last of the hills over there. The difference between the scrub brush and desert and frickin' Idaho cornfields. Look at all that green. So much frickin' green. We are in farm country. Hollister. Actually just shy of Twin Falls. We're stopping soon. But yeah. Thought I'd show you the scenic Idaho countryside. I don't know what a potato farm looks like. I know that's corn there. don't know. I don't think they grow that tall. So some old farmland here that hasn't been touched in a while. But yeah, flat and green. I kind of imagine this is what Kansas would look like if I had to drive through Kansas.